So yeah, we've got. I did get goals rolled up for Valdis. Does Loon have need for any goals?
No. I
Okie doke.
checked mine. I haven't done any.
And I was utilizing the warm-up questions. You guys can let me know if you don't like that as a feature. Just a way to kind of get into your character's head at the start of a session, and it
Yep.
helps to build like background and stuff. Um, some of it you might not yet have developed. Some of it might be established already. So it could add to your character's depth, or it could reinforce. If anyone would like to volunteer with a D100 roll, I can get your background question. Da-na-na.
Not just
You've
yet.
got a 12. So this could be kind of broad, or you might have something simple or basic in mind. What are your character's core moral beliefs?
Hmm. For Loon, his core belief is that he was put here to be as helpful as possible, to be in service. And originally, the way that he could serve was uh, crafting or, smithing or whatever. But life sort of turned itself on its head, and now he's trying to find a way to be in service to his clan in the way that they need the most, which is in trying to become a leader to lead them to prosperity, that sort of thing. So it is all in service. Whoever he's with, it is an attempt to make them better or prop them up or whatever. But he's mostly just trying to help everybody.
Gonna feel like night and day if you ask me this question.
Well, guess what? We are asking you that question now.
Okay, just understands my character. His worldview on morals is. Did someone join?
Yes,
Oh,
they did.
hi.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Were you the person interested from Roll20?
Yes.
Sweet.
Welcome to the table. My character's core moral beliefs are that he doesn't matter in the scheme of things. His family's taught him that several times, pushing his sister higher and higher to accomplishments, and basically with pitying looks at like, oh well, you tried. But he knows that basically if he just disappeared, no one would mourn him or miss him or anything else. So he's just trying to survive and get enough money to eat food and pay for his stuff and get as far away from that life and family as he possibly can, because they don't really care that he exists.
Last time we played, I don't know that you had created your character yet. I don't know too much about him. Are we going to get into that in game, or do you want to?
We will
I'm
definitely
happy
be
to
getting
explain
to
any of it
that
right now.
in game.
In game. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll wait then. I'll be patient.
Yeah. The just to introduce to our new friend, let me know. Initially, I'll use Ghost Owl because that is your Discord name, but we will call you what you want to be called.
I'm Brian.
He is Brian.
I'm Joe.
He is Joe. My name is Josh. I'm the game master. Right now, where we're at, in the scheme of things, we went through the introductory module called Bridge 9, where characters fell into a chasm. They were chased by a horrific beast, a chasm fiend, got away, found their way to ruins, made their way through. I'm very, very quickly. We're actually going to get into recap here shortly, but this is the very broad view. The characters have just made their way out of the ruins to the surface again and are on their way to join Alethi war camps. As far as familiarity, I myself have not read the Stormlight Archive, so my knowledge of
Oh,
the game, I did research kind of from a cosmology perspective and like a top down.
uh,
So I know stuff about the world that people within the world have long forgotten, stuff that's probably revealed as big jaw-dropping moments in the book. I've just kind of glanced past as part of the step-by-step A to Z history. Um, Out of curiosity, what is your familiarity with the world,
uh,
Rocher, Stormlight, etc.?
it's very much so. I'm a big fan of Sanderson. I was one of the backers for the RPG.
Ooh,
I've gone to his convention last year and this year, and I actually got to play the game with the game writers
oh
for like
wow,
Oh
a
wow.
one time session. Um, yeah, so I know a lot.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
that's very cool. Yes, you will definitely be an asset to the group in and out of character. That is fantastic news. My
So
familiarity with Sanderson, I actually watched his lectures on his writing lectures that he filmed
Oh yeah,
from his class down in oh, what's that place in Utah? The university.
Brigham Young.
Thank you. Yes. So I like him as a presenter, as a world builder, as a thinker. I've not yet had an opportunity to actually read his books, but fantasy is my genre, and I absolutely love the world building that has gone into Stormlight and Rocher. Every time I learn more, I'm fascinated further. But I'm coming into it pretty new as far as being immersed. So again, I will of course ask your patience and any lacks of detailed knowledge. Things like the ladies covering their left hands and stuff. I love those cultural details, and I'm still learning more and more. So please bear with me.
Okay.
Um, I did send as well in personal message the invite to the game itself. If you wanted to join into there, that way you can see the screens, observe what we're going through there.
Oh sure.
Um,
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely interested in joining, although I actually have a game I'm running once a month on Wednesdays, so that's just the only like iffy part for me.
okay. We can definitely work around that. I'm personally pretty flexible with the time frame of things. We can collectively decide if we need to move like the start time around or if we want to find a creative way in which once in a while your character will be spacing off into the distance and etc. We can
It could
figure out
be
those things.
like currently we're set to do every week, and if
Mhm.
you do your game the same day or the same week, I guess every month, then it might be possible to just go to like every other week, and your game might fall on off weeks for us if that's easiest.
Oh yeah,
that could work out too. I'm down with that plan.
yeah. I'm definitely flexible in that regard. So collectively, we can find a happy solution that works for all. I won't say compromise because compromise means no one's happy. But yeah. So, I definitely encourage doing the character creation through Demiplane. Are you familiar with the Demiplane Nexus?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And they'll have options. The way that the game is designed, you may or may not know this, so definitely cut me off if I'm just mansplaining at you. But at level 1, they don't have it open for characters to have bonded with a Spren yet, although you can.
Yeah, because you
Okay,
need to get the goals done.
Yeah, so that is something I know that Loon expressed an interest in that, and when we get to level 2, that's when that world opens up brightly and those paths become available. So we can, of course, cross those bridges. I don't want you to have to rush in character creation, so you're welcome to hang out with us tonight, get a feel for us, and listen to our calm, soothing voices. Oh, Goose popped in and out. Uh, and kind of contemplate where your character might fit in, how they might be able to be placed geographically in the world that makes sense with your background and stuff. Um, I don't know if
Well,
you
like I said, like
have character concepts. Go ahead.
yeah, like my goal, if possible, is because I love the singers, so that's like, or a listener, so that's kind of what ideally I would like to play.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I don't. How do I share it? Because I already like.
Oh, you mean
Um,
from like Demiplane?
you'll want to
There you
make
go.
sure that your Demiplane account is linked with your Roll20 account. And then in Roll20, next to in the journal page, next to the add character button is a down arrow. You might be ahead of me already. Hey, there we go, Coxie.
I've
And am I
I've
pronouncing that right?
yeah. I've been messing around with the demi plane since the beta.
Oh, okay, cool. So you'll be definitely well ahead of probably me. I can't speak for anyone else's experience. Demiplane is new to me. I was initially reluctant because I don't like to have multiple properties like converging, but there are a couple of games, the Cosmere and the Marvel, they did a fantastic job with character creation and being able to implement. Really, the only concern is how long it takes to load. Sometimes it's tedious watching the spinning circle and waiting for that to fall in. So bear with that.
Yeah, I'm probably the least familiar with the Sanderson verse, so to speak. The only reason I even know he is an author is that I saw an episode on YouTube of Nerd Forge where the lady made large versions of his books and got permission to make the fifth one where she had to sign an NDA so that way because she got to read it before everybody else because she needed to
Ooh.
transcribe it into these or put it into the large print tomes, and so she made giant versions colored to look like. So you'll have a grand time if you ever look it up. But she took the Stormlight series and made giant. Like Sanderson got to see them at a convention and keep them because that was it was a gift.
Mm.
And it was a publisher that commissioned it from her, and they were like from if you've ever met him in person, just to give you a scope of like how big it is. Like from his belly button to his skull was the size of the book,
Oh, wow.
each one of them. And so he has these huge leather-bound, custom-tooled tomes of his works done that way. Um, that's the only reason I know Starlight is a thing, and that Sanderson is an author. Otherwise, I have no clue.
I have read all of the Stormlight archives. I've read all of Mistborn. Well, I say read. I've listened to. I'm a audiobook
Like a
person.
true Alethi man.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well played.
and I'm working my way toward through the rest of the Cosmere right now. But like 2 months ago, I heard this Cosmere game like was a thing, and I was like, oh, DM, if you ever do a Cosmere game, let me know because I'm definitely in. Um, and he was like, well, yeah, we'll see if people start to show interest or whatever, and so we just got started. But yeah, I just got done reading the fifth book, listening to the fifth book 2 months ago, if that. Very, very exciting. Very good.
I'm excited for you, but I don't have context.
It's well, each book of the 5 is like 50 to 60 hours long, or 50 to 65 hours long each.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. You seem really happy, so I will probably get the books at some point and read them.
Does Mistborn include Era 2?
Yes, I
Okay, good.
listened to Era 2 as well. Yes,
Okay, I love that one.
it was good. Yeah, I was a little hesitant at first because the like vibe on Era 2 was so different. It was like a whodunit almost, and I was like, I don't know. But it like by the time you really get into it, it was really really good. I really enjoyed it.
So, with you having such an awesome familiarity both with the setting and the game itself, for the sake of where the characters are at, would it fit the narrative properly, pardon, for your character to be accompanying some of the Parshendi in an encounter where we'll actually be starting out, or would that not fit? Pardon my being
Um,
vague.
yeah, no, so it can definitely fit because the singers don't exist quite right now in this like point. Because I know this is like before the big storm happens, I guess to be vague. Um,
We are
so
actually
I
going to see the
like,
big storm in the course of this adventure. Not to spoil anything, but yeah, it's happening.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, but I know that like that's a little bit of ways. So, I mean, it's up to you where you want to fit me because I assume that my character should be a listener. So then it could be either for some reason helping the group once they get out in the Shattered Plains or whatever, or it could be the whole dual form spy situation, and then just kind of am with them during it.
Okay. Yeah, there is well, let me kind of set the scene here with kind of going over the recap stuff, and then you'll kind of see where a group of the Parshendi have arrived to confront the other party members, and there'll be an opportunity where perhaps you might be able to like volunteer to escort or observe or just keep eyes for the sake of trust and truce. I didn't want you to have to slag through character creation in parallel, but with that already being ready, and forgive me, I like to know about character backgrounds in advance. So I'll be a little bit new to your character in comparison to others, but I enjoy the exploration, and we can talk out of game, getting more background stuff. And I've just applied a token to your character just so that we
Okay.
have something to represent. When it comes to your character art, I 100% encourage you to send me something if you have something custom or art that you already have that represents and you like. So we will, all of those things we can get into and cover. And of course, next game, here on the splash page, your character will have an icon and a name and fancy logoing. For right now, we just have this picture to represent you.
Perfect. Yeah, that's fine.
But again, that can be adjusted and changed to your liking in between sessions. So with that, just to get a little bit more into stuff, I know that it's been a while since we've gathered. Thank you guys for your patience through technical difficulties this month. We had started, let's see. Yes, there was the bridge. There was the chasm fiend who attacked the bridge. Survivors fell into the chasm. There was a very aggressive Captain Selenar who began to be overtaken by rage and lust. Uh, there's a name for it, it escapes me. What is that again, please?
The thrill.
The
The
thrill,
thrill.
thank you. He was being overtaken by the thrill. He threatened to cut down one of the bridge workers as a way to provide escape from the chasm fiend. The party members bravely stepped in, stopped him from doing that. They helped each other limp along through the chasm. At one point, overnight, they found some shelter, got to know each other a little bit better. They are traveling with a scholar. Her intent was to actually visit the ruins that are eventually found. So she encouraged them to continue to move toward them, hoping that a way out might be found. The ruins were located, partially buried. They had been essentially revealed by a passing high storm. And when she caught wind of it, she wanted to lead the expedition there. Further in, there were some happy little cremlings rather, that were purposefully provoked as their eggs and nests were kind of on the way further in. So they decided to provoke them, deal with them, be able to move further beyond. They then came to the upper level, which is loading. Oh, forgive me. You may not be able to see anything as I didn't have your token there. Apologies. So because this portion of the temple was on its side, they found a statue with a female warrior that was in itself, of course, surprising and intriguing to the primarily Alethi group. The statue itself was observed. There were runes thereon, led to some hidden storage compartments. Fun things were found. And then, where we shall begin, the party came to the surface, where they heard a voice call out and say, "Stop! Give up anything you have taken." There was an intense, rhythmic cadence to her voice, joined by the humming and support of other voices of the Parshindi. And that is where we had left off. If Loon would like to add some details there from their memory of the recap, I encourage you to do so. Brian/Valdis was an observer in that session, is coming into this session. He and a monk from far away are currently hiding nearby, unbeknownst to everyone else, close enough to listen to the goings on. Loon, is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, in the statue room, there was some Spren stuff that happened that, character-wise, nobody really understands. But it sounds very important. There was a Spren that happened to, it seemed like, take a little bit of a liking to our scholar lady.
Indeed. There was one that had interacted with the statue itself, causing runes to glow and the like. There's also another Sprin figure that had appeared that appeared to be encouraging, guiding toward the exit to the surface, which Kavesh had latched onto, encouraged the party to follow up into the bright lights, now where torches are no longer required. So there is Vexla and a pair of Warform singers who have appeared and without introductions, have essentially demanded from this party anything that was taken from the ruins below. And this is where, if Coxie has purpose to be with this party, perhaps her own familiarity with legends or history and the like brings her along as somebody informative. If she has relations with any of those party members, or if she happened to be handpicked to join in the raid outside of
I
Parshendi lands. Go ahead, yeah.
so oh her like main goal is kind of focused on like the singer or the listeners and the relationship to like their forms and spren. Like she's very interested in that, which has also led to an interest in like the weird human fabrials, which are people, are like this is things they do, but they don't know exactly what they do except for they have spread in them like we do.
Right.
So definitely she would be probably interested in if they were going to look at the ruins and stuff.
Okay.
In terms of the confrontation, I can't remember if we actually did take anything in this case aside from knowledge. And so I'm not sure what exactly she would want us to hand over in the first place.
Yeah, there actually was a very significant item that was found. An antiqued item, gems in the, I don't want to call it a gauntlet, but a,
Oh, that's right. It was a fabrial. Yeah.
yep.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah. Um that's right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so we're not going to give that up. Um Okay. So
At the
this
sound of the
is
voice,
obviously a tough situation. So I'm going to Luna's going to definitely sort of put himself in between the singers and everybody else on guard at this point, because all that Loon knows from here is that these are the people that we are currently fighting in this conflict. But I don't necessarily know if we are in a very advantageous position. Like, I don't know that I really want to get into a conflict. So we're going to try and talk our way out of this if possible.
certainly.
So, yeah.
All right. And as a side note, again, unbeknownst to Loon and the party that went through the ruins, as well as seemingly the Parshindi above, there is a man, two men, Valdis and Tazo. Tazo is a monk. He is traveling from very, very far away. His people were looking for a religious artifact. They are still on the course of seeking that out. He and his group had been attacked by bandits. They were, all that he has revealed to Valdis is that the bandits carried a strange rune marking on their face. He believes that they were targeted specifically, not randomly, but he's been a little bit tight-lipped as to what specifically he seeks, where he thinks he might find it. But he had gone out of his way as the only surviving member of that group to seek out protection in traveling in these strange lands. He found Valdis, who was already a little bit forlorn, looking to get away from his current situation, perhaps seeking his own purpose in life, and had agreed to accompany him. You've been traveling the outskirts of the Lethe lands. You are heading toward what is known as the Covenant Stone Crossroads. From there, beyond, there are Alethi war camps. That is where his own intuition and purpose have guided him. And you're taking an out of the way route to get there, just to avoid common passage where bandits might be lying in wait, and have overheard voices, movement, activity beyond. And so now, where you are perched, hidden behind the rocks, you're able to observe, listen, and watch as the
If
confrontation unfolds. Go ahead, sir.
if Tazo is with me, I'll look at him like, "What do you want to do?"
He is going to whisper, "It looks like the people there that just emerged from the cavern, they appear to be pretty worn. I've not encountered Parshendi before, but of course, everyone has heard rumors. They are quite aggressive. Typically, I've been warned that they will kill humans on sight, but because they haven't acted yet, because they have simply introduced themselves with dialogue rather than swords, there may be a chance that they could survive here. I would propose either hanging back and waiting for things to unfold, or if you are bold, we might join them and assist them either in conflict or in attempting to talk our way out of a confrontation." He gives a heavy sigh and puts his head down. He looks down at his broken arm in the sling. "I'm afraid I'm not much use in a conflict. I will have to lean on your intuition." He looks
I
up with a
currently
shrug.
outnumber the other group, but not by much.
And you can see, Valdis, there is a woman of nobility, a couple of people who are wearing clothing that suggests they're of a much lower class. In this area, they wear commonly what you would see on bridge workers and the like. There's a spearman. There is a warrior. Looks like an outsider from his garb and appearance.
Does the noblewoman look like an Alethi?
She does.
Okay, and I'm using the name because I try to identify them.
Of course.
Is Vexla and the Warform singers? Not that I necessarily know they're Warform singers. Are those what I would understand as Parshindi?
Yes, you would be familiar, even though you are yourself not a scholar, being as that you are Alethi born and raised. You've heard enough tales. You likely at this point haven't encountered them being a city guard in your previous occupation, but you would
Mm-hmm.
definitely know them on sight by having heard tales about them. It would register to you as much surprise as it did Tazo that they simply didn't ambush and slay this party. They might be holding back because of the numbers, because you heard them clearly say, demanding anything that they've taken. Perhaps there's something valuable, whether they know they have it or they know it's within or not. Maybe they don't want to cause damage to something. So they could have their own reasons for holding back from just a direct conflict. That is purely
I just assumed they
speculative.
didn't. Yeah, he just looks at Tazo. I assumed they didn't attack because there's no children to eat.
Well, that's perhaps some of the worst rumors you've heard.
He just shrugs like, maybe they don't eat kids. I mean, they seem to know how to wear clothing, so
They are civilized enough to have clothing and voice.
do they have markings on them?
They have patterns.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they kind of a reddish color?
So it depends. There are a variety of colors. So there's like Vexla's white with the red, but there's also like black with red patterns, and it can vary.
I've seen
Right.
it described as almost a marbling style in the
Yes.
markings.
Also, it can change depending on what form they're in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You
So,
would be
but the
familiar
Alethi don't
too.
necessarily know a lot about that, right? At this point.
The Alethi would be familiar with everything we've discussed thus far.
I don't know if they're using paint or the blood of their enemies to make those markings, but some of them look drier than others. It's like a dark black and some are red.
Yeah, they would be kind of their natural skin formation. You would be familiar with, there is a slave class that is not attached to their history anymore. They are essentially, it's called slave form, if I'm not mistaken. There are a couple of
Yes.
names that are referred to,
So
but they are menial servants for the most part. Lois, go ahead. Please elaborate.
oh, so the technically it's slave form, but the humans aren't aware of that. They're just called
Hmm.
parshmen, and it's just they don't think well. They follow basic instructions. And then in the history, the Alethi 10, 12 years ago ran into weird parshmen that could talk and were intelligent, and that's why they're called
Hmm.
Parshendi, because that's the Alethi name for them. But they're actually people who like gave up their gods and forsook like their history to like prevent something that's kind of vague that no one knows about.
Okay.
That is very perfect. Thank you for that. So yes, as the
So you
woman.
would be you would absolutely be familiar with the race in general, and so you would, as a character, understand, um, their markings on their skin being unique and just how their skin is,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Uh, Being an adult and militarized, you would probably know, almost certainly know, there's a war going on, and there are
Hmm.
other Parshendi who are obviously different than the ones that are in slave form. Um, and so I don't know if you've ever seen a war form, if you were just a guard, but you definitely know that they have different forms.
Yeah, this would be his first introduction to seeing them in person. Absolutely. So that you would see. They actually have kind of carapace-like forms um, that mimic examples of human armor, kind of a mixture of what if you were to make like a suit of crab armor for yourself or something like that, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm doing it justice.
When you say crab armor, you're talking like plates from chitinous creatures of various kind, right?
Yep.
Yes, but it is part of their natural body. It's not like they put it on.
No, they
No, they
grew it.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
they grew it. That's a
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Indeed.
Reminds me of the Mimbari from Babylon 5. Okay.
Yeah. So those are the war forms, and there are a pair of them along with the female scout and the other female with them. So two war forms, two that appear to your eyes mostly humanoid and more familiar, of course, than the war form as far as wearing clothing and the like.
As of this moment in the game, they currently have 5 different forms, I believe. Slave form, war form, work form,
Nimble,
scout,
nimble form, and mate
yeah,
form.
nimble, yeah, and mate form. Um, but I don't know that the humans know all of those.
They
I'm gonna
just
assume
see
I
usually
probably
war
don't.
form.
Yeah,
No.
but eventually
You would
they
not be
they
aware of
get
that.
they get more forms. Coming soon, to a game table near you.
So yes, this is where everything comes to heel and where everybody perceives from their vantage point. Loon has made his way to stand defensively. Spearman Varda is going to stand behind, giving you the front to speak, but you can tell he's moving up. And again, through the course of this journey, Loon has encouraged Spearman Varda to find his inner bravery, his inner spine. He was a little bit reticent and cowardly, but has been encouraged and is now as steadfast a warrior as he can be at your side. Loon still bears a little bit of the stinging pain from the Kremlings encountered earlier, but is
It's
feeling
my
a
own
little
fault.
bit better up
Couldn't
here on the
squash
light.
him good enough with my hammer.
Well, I mean, they were squished good enough because you survived and they didn't. And
That's true.
certainly fared better that you had provoked them into an attack and utilizing the environment to your favor as opposed to just trying to tromp up the stairs and then being ambushed from all sides.
I thought it was particularly good that if anybody did get injured, it was at least me and not, everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to keep the entire group as safe as possible, so.
And definitely succeeded in that venture. So, yes, standing defiantly, you can see the two crusted in their carapace, hands flexing. They look eager for a fight, but their leader has greeted you with words rather than violence, and you are free to respond.
Yeah, hello. I'm not entirely sure what you think we took, but whatever you think it is, we are not keen on giving it up.
Do not speak your lies. We know you to be plunderers. Your kind don't show respect for these ancient places.
Well, now that's just a little bit judgmental, but is there anything else we can help you with? Otherwise, we will go ahead and make our way out of here, if that's all right.
You deny that you are here to plunder the ruins from whence you just crawled out of. Her teeth are clenched, eyes wide, unblinking, challenging you.
I mean, we were certainly here to look, but primarily we were running in this direction, and that happened to be away from Chasm Fiend. So we are really just looking to survive.
Coxie, you are aware because the party that you're with had observed there was a chasm fiend that you observed away from the ruins. It was pretty heavily damaged, some broken legs. It could still move. It was still a threat. Certainly nothing you want to poke and prod. But you did observe, and beyond that, where some of these humans had failed to construct a bridge, there was debris down below. So you had seen that
Okay.
about a day's past. So from what they reference, there is truth ringing in the words spoken. You are not obligated to share that or bring it up, but
I
definitely rings
I
true.
think I think in like the listener language, then she would let Vexla know, kind of quietly, almost as if she thinks the the humans are gonna overhear. Like, they did fail at building a bridge, and there it was evidence of survivors, so that part at least speaks true.
Loon, can you please give me an insight roll?
Yes. Oops, wrong button. Let's try this again. Nope, that's also the wrong button.
So you are picking up, again, to your hopefully pleasant surprise, it appears they are reluctant simply to charge forward and enter into a conflict situation. You can also see that Vexla's hands are a little bit shaky. Her composure, when she's not trying to be outright defiant and intimidating, you can just see that hesitation. She doesn't necessarily want conflict, but at the same time, she sees you as trespassers on this ancient site and definitely anticipates hostility.
I am going to continue to try and talk my way out of it. Lady Parshendi, we mean you no threat currently. We hope, if you're here to view the temple, that you do so in all peace. We did just come out of it. It's a wondrous sight, and I definitely recommend it. But we've had our fill, and we'd very much like to go home.
Roll for me your choice of leadership or persuasion.
Going leadership. Ka-ching.
Her glowering look softens ever so slightly. She turns her head toward Coxie, back over at you. She kind of steps to the side a little bit. She doesn't want to take her eyes off you, leave an opening for a surprise attack. She leans in and whispers, "Perhaps these trespassers might be trusted. What do you think? Is it
So
worth a
Coxie,
confrontation here?"
since Coxie's a scholar, she'll kind of like, well, maybe they can explain some of the history or the why of this building. This could be a chance to know what it was for and what happened in it.
You speak true, but that is of less concern to me. Of course, you are here for that reason. But I worry about their proximity, about their happening to be here the same time as us. I wonder, perhaps, if they could be convinced to allow one of our number among them. Would you be willing to join their party for a time, observe them, dole out their motives, see if they can be trusted, see if they do, in fact, carry any artifacts from within? We could set up a means of signal, meet further north, closer to their war camps, explore what you've been able to find.
Um, she'll kind of look a little bit interested and then like kind of drop her gaze and just be like, I think I can do that, although that's that sounds like it might be a risk, but I'd be willing to do so for more knowledge.
A risk indeed, but a rare opportunity if you can get close to them, and even if you're accepted amongst their ranks, if you can make your way amongst their people, you might be able to learn their armaments, their tactics, their weaknesses, the layout of their camps. This could be a valuable opportunity to all of our people. I worry already that they gather to strike us in force. If you can pass, whether as a friend, guide, prisoner, whatever means, I believe it to be worth the risk. One of the singers on the side says, or we could kill them now and move on.
And, and then we would lose any opportunity to learn things and risk our lives for a couple dead humans.
The singer growls while Vexla contemplates. Loon, looking on, see them communicating in their own language. She appears to be sizing up the group, kind of speaking out of the corner of her mouth at her companion behind. Well, what do you propose then? This is Vexla speaking to Coxie.
Oh, well, I could go with them like you suggest and at least make sure they're not trying to go somewhere to do a secret attack or something at least. And maybe find out what's going on in more detail.
She nods, steps back forward a bit, points at Loon. You are trespassers, perhaps lost, seeking your way home. Perhaps you would benefit from a guide familiar with these lands and their perils. If you would entrust one of ours to accompany you, to ensure good faith, we might consider letting you leave this cliffside, the breath still in your lungs. She says
Lady
it in such a
Parshendi,
way that it's not so much a suggestion or a request. It's definitely presented more of a demand, but you're welcome to take it as you like.
Lady Parshendi, while I appreciate your generosity in your offer, you have to understand that being on opposite sides of this political struggle, I can't very easily allow a member of the enemy to walk behind me with a sharp stick, so to speak. And I don't know that the rest of my team would feel comfortable with somebody who wants us dead watching over us while we sleep.
I'd like to turn to Torval.
Yes.
Tova.
Tazo.
Tazo, that's it. Thank you. Knew there was a T in there, and that was about it. Oh, okay. You care if the skinny one comes with us?
Ooh, I would question their motives as well as their safety when we encounter more of our numbers. Surely they would be targeted on sight, recognizable immediately.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And he gently pats his broken arm
Ah!
and
He
says,
flinches.
like, how much do you want to make it off this area alive?
I am sworn to my quest. If I must
Right.
perish, so be it, but I'd
That
certainly
seems like
hope
a
not.
short-sighted quest if you're trying to accomplish it. So
Meanwhile,
what I'm saying is the skinny chick means that we might make it out of here alive and back to our camp. What other people do is not my concern. My concern is getting you there safely.
he nods. Certainly, some kind of peaceable agreement is more desirable than things to be settled by your sword.
I like where you're going with this. I will step out from around the pillar. Hey, if they don't take you up on that offer, we will.
Two Warform immediately, their stance stiffens. Vexla points. Step forward, you. And then she looks at Loon. You have others lying
Whoa,
in
Not
wait.
whoa,
mine.
not us, not us.
Not mine.
That's why I said if they don't take you up on the offer, me and my little monk friend here will. And I will step out to about here. I don't know where Tazo's token is, so if there's a token on there, you'll have to move it.
It's
Thank
right
you.
there.
See, my friend here broke his arm, and if your offer about taking the skinny one, and he's pointing right at Coxie, as a guide, very excited by this plan.
Loon, you feel a soft hand on your shoulder, your left shoulder, because she uses her right hand, of course, as Alaya whispers, it would be a great opportunity for dialogue. I have not met their people, and if we have a chance to exchange words, why, it would go a long way in ending conflict with their people. If nothing else, a temporary truce certainly helps us avoid conflict here and now.
Loon is going to nervously sort of look back and forth between all the groups and then just be like, please wait, I must parlay. And turn around and start talking to the rest of the group and ask them what they think. Obviously, Kavesh, Dural, and Iran are bridgemen, and they are going to have an opinion, as well as Spearman Varda is definitely going to have an opinion. And I just want to poll the rest of the group about, look, there may be safety in numbers here. If we take on that one over there in the armor, it's possible that with only one of them we won't end up with a knife in the back. We will probably still have to watch our back, but what do you guys think?
Spearman Varda says, well, 2 days ago, surely my captain would have ordered me to join him in attacking them on sight. His wisdom has already proven to be flawed. He looks over at Alaya, who has a pleading look on her face, looks at the bridgeman, one of them with a very hurt leg, looks back at you. I've not grown up with anything but animosity being expressed toward these people. The fact that they have even spoken to us without attacking has already put me at odds with what I thought growing up. He looks over. As the lady is essentially our de facto leader, I suppose my duty would be to follow her words of encouragement. Although, we should not be unwary or too trusting. Certainly, we'll want to keep, if we were to accept one of them amongst us. And of course, when we reach the crossroads and even beyond in the war camps, we'll have to devise something to keep her safe. Otherwise, we'll be inviting further ambush and attack. If we leave here without conflict, they know where we are. What we have, our numbers. I'm afraid they have the advantage in the situation. I don't want to lose my life, but if this is where I take my last breath, if the lady commands it, and he gives a nod toward Elia, you have my spear. I'd rather use it defensively and see us to our companions and to safety. Tazo
Loon
gives
listens.
Valdis an encouraging nod.
Loon listens, nods. Okay. Lady Parshendi, you do understand that what you're doing is a massive risk.
No reward is acquired without it.
Okay. Friends, new friends. What are your
Hi.
names?
I'm Baldus, and this is Tazo.
Valdis looks like an Alethi, wearing garb fitting of the region of a proper soldier. Tazo looks very, very different. Light-skinned, blonde hair, very short.
I assume Tazo introduces himself.
He gives a wave and a nod. He starts to raise his arm that has been broken and winces and uses his other arm, kind of a palm up in greeting. I hail from Shinovar, far away. We seek our own means, not to be involved with this conflict, but certainly all of us strangers farewell and parting with our lives. He looks over at Valdis. He has a similar pleading look that Elia had given to Loon and Varda.
I would really prefer not to shed any blood today. I mean, it makes it hard to have dinner later.
Well, if everybody's willing and it gets everybody out of here alive, then I think we would agree to allow one of you to accompany us.
If so,
But your safety when we get back to the war camps is not going to be our responsibility. You're taking this risk on your own volition.
Vexla stands with a fist on her hip. You would not endeavor to protect my companion. I don't expect you to.
I will for coin, just so we're very clear. I work for money.
I don't think they use the same currency you use.
Gold works.
We have uncut gems.
That'll do. That'll do.
Vexla steals a glance at Coxey's
I'm
response
easy, not cheap.
with a sigh, gives a reluctant nod. You there, step forward. She's speaking to
Right.
Valdis.
Taldus, stay put. Try not to start waving with the broken arm. It's not your best move right now.
He nervously begins to pace in front of the rock.
And then I will get matching Loon's area. And like, I'm just going to kind of stop here. It seems like the same distance he is away from you, so it seemed appropriate.
Vexla points. You can be trusted with ensuring her
Well-
well-being.
Let's put it this way. I fought off the creature that broke his arm and made sure he made it out of there alive, and he's paying me.
Roll for me, please, your persuasion.
Yeah, I'm not
Mr.
expecting this
Baldus.
to go super hot.
You were just thinking you were a diplomat a minute ago.
I mean, the skinny girl waved at me. I was feeling pretty good about myself. I don't know what notes I need to roll in here. How does this work?
So under the right-hand side under spiritual, where it says, you said you wanted to roll a persuasion.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So there's
Oh, I have
the
to hover over
plus.
Okay, I see it turn into a die roll now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Click that, and then it'll pop up in the lower left, and then click roll underneath the thing.
Okay, my complication range is 1 and my opportune is 20.
Uh,
Do I need to make any adjustments of any kind?
None at
Nope.
all.
All right, so I'll just hit roll. That should make a thing happen. It is what it is.
But you claim not to be associated with these people.
Oh, he just points in a different direction. Like, I came from that way around this place. I was hiding behind the rock because they were a larger group than me. And so I didn't know who the hell they were. I didn't even know there's a way to go through this thing because that seemed psychotic.
How fortuitous that all of us are gathered here then, seemingly by accident. You can hear the skepticism, a little bit of sarcasm
Oh.
rolling in her tone.
It's not by accident. Fate hates me. Absolutely hates me. So if there's like gods that you worship and they see me show up, they're just going to say like, oh, it's him. And you can tell that he's literally referring to himself in the most derogatory fashion possible. It's like, that guy. Yeah, wow. How is he not dead yet? I don't know. I really don't know. No, I consider running into you, Parshindi, nothing personal against you. You seem like a nice lady. As like the worst goddamn day of my life. And the fact that there was a group that outnumbered me by like 3-1 over there. I mean, there could be a Lethe among them, like the spear guy. And I thought they were bandits, to be honest with you, because I have no idea who they are. I have nothing. So I was just hiding behind a column like, maybe if they all leave, we can sneak away when they're all gone. And that was the plan, honestly, until someone said like, hey, we'll let you leave here alive if you take one of us with you. I'm like, that I could work with that. That seems like a viable plan. And then I was hoping to make some coin off it, but if you have uncut gems, I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. So if you need protection, I got a cloak. We can cover you up when we get closer.
Elia whispers to Loon, the man is a fellow countryman. If he has any honor, he can be trusted, certainly as much as Varda here, despite the mercenary inclinations he seems to have.
Loon looks at her like, hey, what do you mean? I'm a mercenary.
She gives a smirk
What are you saying?
and a shrug. Perhaps you have more in common than not.
That's what it sounds like.
Can I overhear any of that conversation, given how far away they are?
She's whispering that. It is a little bit out of your way. Go ahead and roll for me your perception. If you roll particularly
I am not
well,
expecting this to
might
go
be able to
great,
get
but
snippets,
I'll give it a go.
Indeed. Well, you put your skill pips into swinging the sword.
Yep. Oh,
Hey.
sweet.
But a natural 20. So, yeah, you
Dude has
can
elf
see
ears.
not just a little bit of the words that carry over, but in her tone, she's looking at you not with contempt, but with a little bit of hope.
He looks back.
And you, of
Sweetheart.
course, recognize an Alethi noble woman in all of her
Oh.
grace.
When he looks back, all he sees is his sister.
Oh, well, that
just
could be
looks
good
back.
or bad.
Yeah. He just looks back. Look, sweetheart, nothing personal. But I'm really just doing this because if I get a couple gems from you guys, and his open palmed hand with no weapon in it is gesturing toward Vexia, that I could trade them for dinner. I'm hungry, and on cue, almost his stomach growls loudly.
Well, is Valdis light eyes or dark eyes?
I don't know, but I'm going to go with probably dark if that's the more common, less spectacular thing.
Nobility
be-
has light eyes. The
Mhm.
commons have dark.
Okay, so my sister absolutely has light eyes. I don't.
Being
I don't
part
know
of
that
her
it works
family,
that
you
way.
could still be
I
a
don't either.
soldier of higher birth. I would say it's more likely that you would be light eyes.
Okay, then I'll
You
go with
could
that,
have
whatever that is the case.
green.
It would it would make sense that you'd be light eyes and talk to a light eyes more familiarly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, that sounds
it's like royalty talking to
don't-
royalty as opposed
I
to.
don't know enough about the anything, so I'm
Oh,
going to
of
go with what you
course.
guys suggest.
We'll,
So then it's light eyes.
at all turns, we will be very patient with that. It is all good. See, you're learning more about the world as we progress, as intended. Awesome.
So when light eyes, is that just like lighter eye color, like blues and stuff like that?
You can still be a dark eyes and have blue eyes, but it would be like dark blue. So it doesn't matter
Oh,
what color
okay.
it is,
More
but
shade.
it's like the shade. Yeah, the
Yeah. It's literally
Like
like light shining through like glass or something if you're a
Mm.
light
Can
eyes
I-
person.
That's
Could I
such a
go with
beautiful way to say that.
I like that. What if I went with because I still like the concept of brown, but what about a shiny topaz?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do have like amber and topaz eyes for light
Let's go
eyes.
with that. Let's go with that for his eyes then.
Perfect.
And like, I'm just trying to eat. This seems like a good plan to get me food. Once I get to the war camps, Tazo will pay me, and then Coxie, I'll make sure you get back to your people and take some gems, and I get dinner tonight. I'm pretty excited.
well,
Tazo's pacing has ceased a little bit as he heard talk about food. He's kind of peering over with a stretched neck, like, somebody say food.
I'm working on it.
We've come to an accord then.
Vexla steps forward.
I instantly hold my hands up, palms open, so they can see. Because when she stepped forward, I'm like, he literally went to like not trying to fight.
And she doesn't have an aggressive stance. She says,
It's a Parshendi. He's just like, ooh, okay, just palms open, not trying to like.
oh, of course. She tilts her head back, taking a stance. Very well. So shall it be. You are thusly charged. I would have your name, sir. She's looking at Valdis.
Oh, my name is Valdis. Do I need to spell that for you, or are you good?
I don't think they have written language.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
No. It's okay. It's humorous. I'm just. It was just a random comment.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is all in character. Like, Valdis will then lean ever so slightly forward, again, hands and palms up so she can see he's not holding anything. Like, he's standing there like he's afraid a cop's going to tell him to put his hands behind his back. And just like, I'm really sorry, I didn't know you had a written language.
Cox would absolutely not know this, but Valdis probably doesn't know how to spell his name either because
Yeah.
Red can't read.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't going to bring that up because I overheard the statement you said to Joe earlier about like a real Alethi man. You listen to the book. You didn't.
Right. Exactly.
He was just
I
trying to
love
make
that so
himself
much.
seem more important than he should, because he doesn't know how to spell his name, but he wants to make it seem like he does.
To Spearman Varda, you sounded very feminine.
Look back at Spearman Varda. You got a pretty mouth.
Loon doesn't care because he's from a different culture, and I don't know. I'm not sure if it's known if the Horn Eaters actually do have written language or if they care about reading or anything like that. I don't know if that's
I
ever
was just going
specified.
to ask how much reading you did up in those mountains when you were training your muscles.
Because there isn't any sort of canonical answer to that question, I'm going to say that when my brothers died and I became first son, when I went
Last
from
remaining
third
son,
son to
as it
first
were,
son,
yeah.
then I had to be given all of the information that a first son must know, which includes access to any library that they probably have and any records that they probably have. So I would say that I've done more reading recently, but it wasn't a lot.
I think it's fair to say that you've progressed beyond C-Spot Run.
Yes.
Shakespeare might be a little bit out of your depth, but maybe
Yes.
Elia can help. Vexla will say, very well. And she steps back and gives a nod to Coxie to encourage her to join Valdis. Tazo, ever so carefully, stepping forward so as not to be seen as aggressive.
Looks back. Tazo, I don't think you need to worry, buddy. The broken arm really sells that not killing attitude.
He gives a smirk and a nod.
So Coxie will kind of very hesitantly reach into a pouch, I guess, and she started with 4 uncut gems, so she will give you those.
He will happily take them and his hand moves very quickly and comes back and there's nothing in his hand.
Okay.
And he's like, well, then this is yours. And he takes his cloak off and provides a cloak to you, like, you may wear it now. And when we get close, you might want to pull the hood up.
She will nod and just kind of like put it on. It's probably nicer than what the listeners normally wear, so she's like, okay.
It very quickly will make you a little bit warm in this climate, but besides that, comfortable. Has a hood on it, that way you can bring the hood up and kind of hide your identity a little bit. Vexla, in your language, will say, be strong, sleep with both eyes open. We will meet again soon.
And she'll nod as like, I will try to get what knowledge I can and bring it back.
I got to ask a serious question here. What's your name?
Lauren.
Oh, no, not you. I'm sorry.
Oh.
In character.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. Coxie.
Coxie, Valdis. This is Tazo. Tazo, I don't think she bites.
Loon is also going to walk over to introduce himself. Hello, my name is... Well, you can just call me Loon. You probably won't be able to pronounce my name, but...
Oh, please give the long Hawaiian version.
My family calls me Luna Maka... Luna...
Luna Makani?
Makani Akivaka. Yeah, Luna Makani Akivaka. There we go. Got it in 3.
Tazo
Okay,
says,
so-
yes, so Loon.
Yes, Loon will be perfect.
So, Luna Makani Akivaki?
Close enough. You can just call me Loon. It's easier. Don't worry about it.
I can practice if you want me to, but if Loon's your preferred, then sure.
You lowlanders don't quite have the right rhythm to it.
Ah, there it is.
You notice that Vexla, while turning away, has not taken her eyes off of the party. The war forms look disappointed in that everything was peaceably reached. And they take slow steps to exit your viewpoint. And the lot of you are left. Kavesh steps up, looking at Loon and Elia, and says, "A word, please, if we may."
Yes. Yeah, let's step right over here.
Spearman Varda gives a questionable look. Elia comes over, says, "I've been speaking with Iran and Dural. We feel it might be best to take this opportunity to part ways, if you would see fit to allow us our freedom to find our way. We do not believe we would fare well under the yoke of the war camps upon returning."
Yes. And I don't have a problem with this, Lady Brightness Elia. Do you have any issue?
She cocks her head in a moment, contemplation, looking at Kavesh, over at Dural and Iran. She says, "We can never meet again. I will not feign recognizing you in the company of others. But if you seek, make your lives elsewhere. You shall be
I
counted
look at
amongst the dead of the bridge."
I look at Kavesh, and I say, um, I don't think it's very likely that one, let alone three, bridgemen would have survived that terrible attack that happened, and we only just survived with our lives. So I have no idea what happened to you three. Be free, and I give him a good handshake.
He smiles and says, "With all due respect, may our paths not cross again." He gives a bow of a head to Elia, approaches Dural and Iran, gives them a nod, and they begin to exit, following the direction from which Tazo and Valdis came from. Spearman Varda is standing there with a very perplexed look, looks over. Elia gives him a simple nod. He shrugs, thumps his spear in the ground, stands at attention, waiting for things to progress further, as the Bridgemen 3 also make their exit. Elia moves to stand next to Spearman Varda without a word.
Loon is going to try and get everybody collected now, and get them all on the same page. All right, everyone. I appreciate everyone's willingness to handle this situation peacefully. I am still in charge of making sure that Brightness Elia finds her way back to the war camps as safely as possible. So I will hope that you will all work with me to make sure that all of us arrive at the war camps safely and alive and with just as much blood as we had starting out. However we need to do that, I am willing to work with you. But to start off, first rule, no killing anybody. That I think that's a good one. No killing at least anybody in the group. So yeah, we'll start with that one. Anybody have an issue with that one?
I'm fine. She's paying me, so definitely not her. And he's paying me, so definitely not him.
I look over at Varda.
Varda looks between you and Elia, His eyes linger on Coxie, perhaps longer than is comfortable. With a heavy sigh, he nods, thumps his spear.
And I look over at Coxie.
She'll shrug. And I, I do not. I'm not in war form. I am not made to fight. I am just trying to seek knowledge.
Excellent. Then I think that this is getting off to a wonderful start. Are we hungry? Do we want some food? I can make us a soup or a stew if you'd like.
Tazo
I believe
breaks
I've got
his
some leftover
composure.
shells from those Kremlings.
Oh, please, yes.
You had me at food.
So yes, I'm gonna start by setting up for lunch, and I believe I've still got some food supplies in my bag, wherever those went. Could have swore. Oh yes, there we go. Food. Okay.
Indeed. Tazo
and
speaks up and says, should we make a bit of a camp here? I see the light is dimming. I could use a bit of a longer rest. We've been traveling, and he looks over at Valdis. Well, I've lost count of the hours, but would be nice.
Yeah, I've been technically lying to him the entire day because we had to come over that ridge behind us, and told him we were so much closer every time he kept asking, because if I told him the real distance, he would have quit.
Okay, well, you make a good point. Why don't we make shelter? Lady Coxie, I assume that you guys were coming here to view the ruins. Do you want to just hang out inside the ruins and check those out real quick, and we can stay the night and make a real camp, and then head off in the morning?
She'll nod. Yes, that sounds good. Maybe you could explain some of their significance. We don't have to do this like in game, but she would want someone to explain the human stuff.
Elias steps forward and says, it would be my pleasure to share in what we observed there and
Oh,
the
I have a
information I
question.
was able to glean.
Valdis
Question.
looks at Elia and then at Coxie. Was the other lady, Coxie, your leader?
She was leading this expedition, yes.
And she asked us to share what we got from, or sorry, and I say we in the context of like non-Parshendi, what they got in the temple. It's a temple, right? He's looking at Elia like, help me out here. It's a temple, right? Wow,
By
you're just gonna
all,
leave me hanging?
by all interpretations, yes.
Okay, so if you learned things in the temple and left with that knowledge, then you would be honoring her team leader's wish of sharing what you got by telling her what you learned. He's looking back and forth between the two girls like, come on, that's got to be something.
And she'll
Loon's
kind
just
of,
like, yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
she'll nod as like, I believe so. Yes, that may have been her intention.
Hey, talk it up. I'll just sit over here and wait for the glorious man with the beard to do the stew. And he looks over at Tazo. It's like, I'm not talking about you. You only have one working arm.
Elia will step toward Coxie, and she looks a little bit reluctant, and then she offers her arm. If you please, I can show you the ruins.
She'll nod and I guess very hesitantly like put a hand like on her arm because she's not sure what we're doing here. So she's just kind of like, oh, okay.
And she will begin to slowly guide you in that direction.
I lean over to Tazo. You're not going to believe this. I think I'm going to become a diplomat.
Ha! Well, when that sort of you fails, would be good to have strength of tongue as well.
That's what she said. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I didn't hear her say that. I didn't mean to repeat
Oh,
words
no, no,
already.
no. Sorry, the guy who taught me how to use a sword was very prolific, might be a good word.
He nods and smiles in such a way that you realize he has no idea what you're talking about, but is appeasing you in the conversation. Says, yes, yes, well, I'm most interested in seeing, tasting what our new friend might prepare. And eagerly starts walking to follow Loon toward his preparations.
Well, that makes two of us.
Yep, we're just gonna follow the ladies back in, and I'm gonna set up the stew pot and start cooking.
I'm just going to sit out here in the open, looking around like he's just kind of taking it in. But the reality is, I'm just waiting for someone to try to ambush me. And it's easier to have a big, spacious area if I got to wield my sword.
Of course. Let's see. Do. I'm just doing some maneuvering here. So, since the party is moving back inside the upper level of the shrine, here shall you be. Let me make sure. I did give token vision to Coxie. So Spearman Varda is just standing at the entrance, essentially, to the path that leads up to the surface, wordlessly
I'm just going to move
standing on
myself a
guard.
little bit farther back because I'm really not trying to get in there.
Oh, okay. Tazo is just going to eagerly follow Loon wherever he goes because he's the man.
Yep, Loon's
good
going
lad.
pretty much all the way inside, finding an open space to start to cook.
All right. So Alaya, meanwhile, will start to kind of introduce Coxie to what she found. She will tell her about the runes, how it was a place of meditation. She will gently ask about her familiarity with the history, ask her if she recognizes anything about the place, the statue of the woman warrior in shard plate, etc., etc.
Coxie would definitely just be kind of sad whenever she's asked about that, and explain that, much of our history was lost when we had to forsake our gods.
She gives a tight-lipped nod in acknowledgement. So what she describes is this chamber here, when Temple was active, this portion of the shrine was a meditation chamber for the Knights Radiant. And as far as she can tell, statue honors a now forgotten individual. They were not able to discern their identity. There are also murals that are on what is now the floor, but used to be the walls.
Okay, I mean, she definitely will, with interest, taking it all in, um, especially like the murals and stuff, she'll try to kind of study them a little bit, but she doesn't know that much about the humans, so this is all just new for her.
Oh yeah. So the mosaics themselves, a lot of the color has just been lost to time and erosion. You can see, while you might not recognize what they are, there are shard bearers in a variety of fanciful scenes. There's a figure with very, very faded blue color surrounded by clouds. There's another very faded red wrapped in flames. The clearest image shows a woman in shades of purple shard plate, and her hand is extended toward a figure with ivory skin and red carapace. Can't determine whether their postures are threatening or welcoming, but you definitely recognize the Warform singer in that mirror.
Okay.
I am trying to see. Yeah, she will speculate that the glyphs were essentially the carving functioned as a way for the Radiants to contemplate firm ideals. She will talk about how she believes there are Spren who have observed their journey with favor. She'll describe the lights that swirled around her head and then went into the statue to illuminate the glyphs.
You
And
spoke the first ideal last time, didn't she? She just reading it off of the stone.
so the do. And yes, I do believe she had. She's kind of following the mantra. She was able to actually speak in the correct order of the glyphs.
Yeah, life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination.
Exactly that.
But it's one of those things where in the book, it's almost like you just sort of know the words, even if you hadn't known the words before. So I was wondering if she had read the words and said them out loud, and that's where she got them, or if this is one of those you just kind of knew them sort of situations.
Definitely the latter. When you had first observed her, it was almost like an epiphany came upon her, and her hands went around the glyphs as she was speaking the phrase, because that is the phrase that the glyphs come together to represent, essentially.
Mm.
But yeah, it definitely looked more like it was coming from her and her own intuition rather than actually reading and understanding them.
Okay.
But she is able to let you know, essentially, in an archaic style. Afterwards, and this is something that she's going to be giving to Coxie, those are the actual glyphs.
Okay. She definitely perks up at the mention of Spren. And we'll kind of look at her like, oh, do you humans take new forms as well then?
She slowly turns her head with that raised eyebrow. What?
In your gem heart, if this friend showed you favor, then did you gain a new form? And
Her
she'll kind of
mouth
hold her like hand to her
slightly
chest.
opens agape. I know not of what you speak.
Loon's probably hearing this in the background as he's cooking. and just sort of speaks up. Lady Parshendi, that phrase doesn't make any sense. Could you elaborate?
And she'll kind of make like a humming sound that you guys don't know the rhythm, so you wouldn't know what it's about. And then when you come of age and you take in a sprint into your gym heart and take your adult form, or you can change it if you were inclined to have violence and you'd go to war form, and she'll kind of like gestures towards Loon, or if you were trying to be, learn more and you could take scholar form, that sort of thing.
We don't have a gem heart.
She'll kind of just like look at you, like, what? That's how you. Then how do you know what forms to use?
We don't use different forms. I'm just me.
And she just like looks very confused. But I've seen and she'll kind of like gesture the things where you trap sprint in them. We often use that to change forms. I had assumed that was what you humans were doing as well.
Elia looks also confused, but also intrigued. She slowly shakes her head. Is this something all of your people can do?
Yes, it's you go out into the storm, and I mean we've lost a lot, so we're still trying to rediscover the appropriate forms, but we've gotten several of them already back, and you have to have this right state of mind and call to an appropriate spren and hope the storms gift you with the form you seek.
There are many who toil for us, very simple-minded, if you forgive. Are they capable of this?
And she'll kind of look a little bit sad about that. I'm not sure. They almost seem to be like those of my people without forms, dual form, but worse. And I've never heard of any of them being able to change, but I've also not been to any of your human cities, so maybe they have.
Luna's going to speak up. Lady Parshendi, if the Spren has blessed you, I would definitely welcome you, as the Spren are definitely sacred, and to be revered. So, thank you for caring for your Spren.
And she'll kind of smile at that. Oh, of course. Uh, I I always find that very interesting. I'm trying to remember what nimble form has. Is it gravity? What? But she'll just kind of. I've taken this sprint in my heart, although of course I will seek other forms of my people. But for right now, I'm working with the one that came to me.
It's a blessing. You must be very lucky, or you must feel very lucky to have been blessed by this friend. So,
Elia nods in agreement. Still
Well,
looking
it's
very
just
much
a way.
genuinely
It's just
surprised at what she's hearing. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah. She'll just kind of like shrug awkwardly, like it's just a wind spread. They're fairly common and easy to attract, I suppose.
Loon, of course, doesn't listen to that part. Obviously, Windspren or no, they're to be revered. So whether she believes that she's blessed or not, Loon believes it.
Okay.
Can I get a perception roll from Coxie and Loon?
Sure. Nine.
You notice that Tazo has become rather quiet, but is listening very raptly to your exchange. Absentmindedly, he's checking over Loon's cooking. His one good arm, you see, has procured a unique stone that he's kind of absentmindedly kind of caressing.
You said he has a stone that he's caressing?
Yes.
Oh. I noticed this?
Yep. As he's watching you make your preparations with food. Looks like an absent-minded, just his pet rock.
Based on the look on your face, it seems like you have a story to tell.
Oh, no, nothing so grand as such. And he looks down at the rock and sheepishly looks between you. I believe in my journey, the spirits of the stones have protected me.
Yes, the stone spren. Also to be revered.
He nods, and you pick up. He's not like, in contrast to when Valdis was speaking of his commander, where he just kind of smiled to get along with it. His nodding looks to be of understanding. You get the sense that he's holding back in the conversation, but he's definitely following your words and in agreement with the sentiment about the spread from a perspective of knowledge, if not experience. But again, still tight-lipped.
Loon, while he continues to cook, is going to probe for more conversation. You're a long ways from home, friend. What brings you out here?
Ah, yes, well, it has been quite a long journey from Shinovar. Uh, I was with a larger group. Myself and a few of my companions are seeking out a holy relic. Alas, we were set upon by bandits, and he kind of gestures with the stone. Well, as luck or providence may have it, I was able to survive. He gestures with his broken arm in the sling. Not completely unscathed, but that is what inspired me to seek out my Alethi companion. And he gestures toward the outside, where Valdis has not yet joined you again. Says, I hope to make my way through following intuition and what we know. Hopefully, I'll be able to find that relic, return it home. Those who overcame us, well, I don't want to frighten you, but I suppose it would be inappropriate for me not to be forthcoming. I don't believe them to be mere bandits, but assassins. I believe they seek the same artifact as I. Uh, do be wary if you see men whose faces are painted with green glyphs.
Green glyphs. I will keep my eye out for those. What did I miss it? Did he say specifically what artifact he's looking for, or did he pointedly not say what artifact he's looking for?
He pointedly does not say what he's looking for. He continuously alludes to it with vague reference in the way of holy relic, religious artifact, and the like.
And what of your companion? What do you know of him?
Well, he is quite bold, dare I say, fearless. Uh, you did see in the way in which he approached the potentially contentious situation above. He carries that sword, dare I say, as if it is a part of him. I've not yet seen him wield it, but woe be upon a foe who encounters one who can carry such an unwieldy blade with such ease. We've not shared so much in conversation. I know that he harbors a little bit of animosity toward his home and his upbringing, but as of yet, I've respectfully not pried into that. I find people will reveal more about themselves if you give them the opportunity and perhaps when it is relevant.
Well
He
spoken.
is very much true to his word. He's made his priority to see to my well-being. Simply beyond wielding the sword in my defense, he's been kind enough to ensure that I will take the first bite, that I am comfortable while he takes watch. I believe that he can be trusted. Uh, Perhaps his motivation for payment is out of necessity. I don't believe that without coin he would abandon me to nefarious fates. But it's a nice incentive. And then he holds his hands out. I don't know that it would be appropriate for me to speak further in his absence, but I've not seen anything negative or worrisome about his demeanor.
Loon's gonna taste the stew and call out to everybody that it's ready and to come eat up.
Ooh. Um, by way of the means in which you're preparing this, I'm kind of curious if it leans into craft or survival.
That's a good question. Probably closer to survival. My craft, if I was to do anything craft, it would be closer to like making stuff. But
And it's
not
not like a
quite cooking.
practiced profession.
Right.
You're not like trying to impress important diplomats or
Right.
something. It's more
I'm
making the
not a
best out of
fourth
what you
son.
have.
Right. I'm not a fourth son, so I'm not a cook. I never was a cook. But, you know,
Far be it
I
from me. I
know
mean, no
a thing or
offense,
two.
sir.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I didn't get too far into crafting before there was an attack from another clan, and a couple of my weapons that I had crafted early on ended up breaking, and it led to my two older brothers dying. And since then, I've never crafted another weapon. But I may occasionally craft a tool.
All right. Out of curiosity, just for the sake of deeming the quality of the meal you produce, go ahead and roll for me your survival.
Okay. Where'd that go? There it is.
Tazo, in seeing that you're tasting and kind of finishing up, he's going to give a
Nailed it.
nod to Spearman Varda. Oh my goodness, this is the best Kremling soup that has ever been constructed in these lands. Tazo is going to come up to the surface where Valdis is
Hey,
using a
buddy.
whetstone, taking out nicks of his blade and such. Says, my friend, food preparations
Yeah.
are done. If you are
Did you eat?
eager to join us. Oh, no. We've not yet taken a bite, but my goodness, the smell. If you can't smell it from here, I believe we're about to be blessed. Come join
One second.
us.
He presses in, and you can hear his nose crunch a little bit as he then sneezes, and it's clear at one point in his life, somewhere between his birth and now, that his nose has been broken at least once.
The rocky ridges
sorry,
of your face.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's a little hard to smell some things. But thank you for letting me know. Did you want to eat first? I'm just making sure nothing sneaks up on us from out here.
Oh. The spearman has offered to take watch. If I've come to ask you to sit and join us in the meal.
Oh, okay. Do we know what the spear guy's name is?
Varda.
I think they've talked Valda, Verda, something.
Varda? Okay.
Definitely a V word.
Same. And he packs his stuff up, gets up, drags his pack and stuff inside. He'll stop. Is it Valra? He
Varda.
stops at the spearman. Oh, Varda. Sorry, I apologize. New names and whatnot. Thanks for being understanding.
Worry not, my lordship.
Sweet God. He leans in like, look, I'm not a girl. You don't have to, pretend I'm important. I get it. But look, if I had coin to spare, I would absolutely tip you.
Ha. Very good, my lord. And he moves to take your place higher up by the entrance to keep an eye out.
He comes in. Oh, that guy's a kidder. Wow.
Varda is of a dark-eyed persuasion, so he's simply speaking to you as he would a superior, and especially because you're obviously of the soldiery profession. He knows no better than to recognize and defer to you as such.
Yeah. That's fine. He stays away from the ladies if they look like they're in conversation of any kind. It's clear deference. Very clear deference.
Yeah, they have, unless Coxie wishes to press Elia further on history, knowledge, that sort of thing, Elia would encourage her to join the others at the fire and the food preparation.
Yeah, she'll join them.
Tazo is licking his chops. The smell in this area definitely stands out now and has spread. Even if you have eaten recently, it makes you salivate a little bit. Again, whatever Loon has done to this Kremling stew, maybe it's a spice of the Highlands or something unique. I will let
Takes a
Loon
deep breath
elaborate,
in.
but it is fantastic smelling.
Takes a breath in. Looks at Loon.
I just threw something together. Honestly, my younger brother could cook the pants off of me. I I don't delve too much into this. So really, I just tried to make it edible, you know. But oh man, if you ever had a taste of my my brother's stew, it's divine. It's to die for. Let me tell you, just the right amount of shells.
There must have been something in your observation, casual conversation that you picked up from your brother that has enabled you to cook this stew to such perfection. As humble as you might be, even you recognize, like, my brother would be proud. I really nailed it.
I mean, it is not half bad after all. You know, it is pretty good, I suppose. Probably one of my best, you know, but still, don't get too excited. It is just Kremling soup.
Are you kidding? That smells so good. I'm curious if you're single.
Well, you know, I'm not entirely sure if the Horn Eaters have a like what their relationship style is, if it's a like
Oh, if they
arranged
have like
marriage
arranged
sort of a
marriage,
thing,
yeah.
or yeah. So I don't know.
You would know
Um,
that it is likely that your adherence to your newfound duties would probably put that as a lower priority. But I don't want to
yes.
speak for you. I'm just throwing that out there as part of what I know about your
It,
background.
well, let's assume that they don't have any sort of arranged marriage situation as a culture. And I will agree that if that's the case and there isn't an arranged marriage, I certainly have not made any attempts at finding any sort of relationship.
Certainly, had you lingered longer at home, you would find that your newfound prestige would open the doors to more opportunity, if
Very
nothing
likely,
else.
yeah.
Well, if you keep cooking for me, I'm just saying. Gives you a small wink like he's playing with you, but
Um,
Airsick lowlanders.
Coxie's just watching in vague confusion what's happening here.
I'm gonna lean over to her and be like, "See, they get too much air, and it does weird things with their brains. I don't take very much of it very seriously."
Elia chuckles and then tries to kind of hide her face from the outburst. It was a little bit, I'm grasping at straws for the word. But she didn't
Undignified?
mean, not so much that. She didn't mean for it to come out kind of in response.
Oh,
But you can tell she's amused by the exchange. Especially too, she's seeing one of her, not just a cousin in nobility, but her fellow Alethi, uh, giving a little bit of grief to Loon. Whether he's serious or not, it's amusing to her. Tazo's just kind of smirking and going along with things. He's more concerned with the food.
yeah, if Loon also would have noticed, probably being a warrior type person, um, when Valdis did come in, he simply moved to the next opening to the room that he noticed and planted his ass there. He went from one opening to the other opening.
Oh yeah, which is conveniently right in the proximity where Loon was preparing food there. Nice kind of
Yep.
clear open space, but not so dusty as the cavern beyond. Well, still
No, just
dusty,
he
but
put himself. If something comes from this side now, he knows Vargas is covering the other side. He can cover this side. He just moved through the room, gave the women space, and then found the next opening that could potentially be a spot where people could ambush from.
Loon is going to scarf down his meal as quickly as possible, and then go relieve Spearman Varda, and knowing that he is probably going to want to eat, but won't leave his post until relieved.
Yes.
So I'll come up to him, and I will say, I appreciate that you took the first watch. You are a man of honor, and it's time for you to have your meal. I will take over and I'll keep watch.
Josh,
Very good, sir. Yes, that's
can
me.
you change my token so that I'm not based off Loon's light source?
Let me see.
Because I just realized that when he
I
moves,
had
it
not
changes
awarded.
everything.
I had not awarded your token with visibility. I apologize. Let me change that base
That
setting.
explains
I
all
just
the
changed
shadows
it
earlier.
on your token, but for some reason your token on the field didn't have it. But yeah,
That's
you
fair.
should have now token vision.
Oh no, I can totally see everything fine.
Okay.
Just beforehand, I was noticing he moved, and all of a sudden the shadows moved, and I'm like, oh. That's why I couldn't see Tazo earlier, because he was covered in the shadow of the obelisk.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. But yes, you should now have vision given
Yep, we're
to
good.
you. Spearman Varda will come in. He will give a nod to those Alethi nobility wordlessly, take a sample of the food, and then he will lean against the wall, still standing, taking in his portion of the meal. With that, if there are exchanges you would like to make with each other, as far as having an opportunity to learn more about your companions, etc., you definitely have an open forum to do so. As it comes to a long rest, there are rules for like recovering health and focus with a short rest. Since you guys are going to be able to enjoy a long rest, you will find that all of your lost health and focus will be restored. I've not given anybody exhaustion, so you don't have any penalties there. So, and any special ability, of course, you guys are still at first level, but you'll find later on certain paths will say once per long rest, you can do this thing, etc., etc. So those will all refresh during the course of the night.
Feels very 5e adjacent, so I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable with some stuff.
Oh yeah, and another 5e thing is there is advantage and disadvantage can be conferred through aid
Is
and
that like what I think
circumstance.
it is, two dice as opposed to one?
Yep.
Yes, but it doesn't
You can apply
roll
to
it the
different.
same way.
You can
It
apply advantage to different dice. So like the d20 or the damage, or for rolling
Mhm.
the plot die.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
but
It's very
also
cool.
like I was confused at first because you actually do have to click on the dice to apply it firstly. So you click on advantage or disadvantage, and then click on the dice and then roll. But then you don't actually see like two physical dice. It'll just be like highlighted green for advantage, highlighted red for disadvantage,
Yeah.
Okay.
and whatever that number is, that number is. Yeah. I
Okay,
still
that
wish it
tracks.
rolled two dice.
Well, maybe an illegal feature update.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
all secrets behind the screen.
sure. So, Coxie, are you finding everything you wanted to find here?
Oh, I was not honestly sure what there was to be found, so learning more about the ruins is interesting. My people actually have been living in we assume a ruined human city.
Oh, um, like a ruin or something from ages past, or some.
She'll shrug. It was covered in creme when we came to it, and most
Hmm,
of the buildings didn't have ceilings, so I assume your people abandoned it long ago.
that would track. Sure.
Um,
Hopefully, it's working out for you guys.
there was one thing I had neglected to address. Can I please have you, Coxie, roll for me your perception?
Sure. Oh. Go to the character sheet, sorry.
No, you're okay. Take all the time you need. It
Uh,
takes some time to get
oh,
used to where everything's are laid out and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I was double checking a thing and accidentally clicked away from the character sheet, but I'll just, oh, there we go. Never mind. We're good. Perception. 18.
So when Alaya was going over the runes and the statue and her experience with that, you noticed that there were compartments opened on the statue that were empty, like drawers that had been left open. There was nothing within, but they had been opened.
Okay. So since I guess I could work that in, since you're asking like what they wanted, she would explain, we're trying to understand what these ruins may be represented for your people previously, and perhaps find things that were lost long ago, which could be used. She'll kind of like glance at them, kind of awkwardly see if anyone volunteers any information.
With your
So this is a
perception,
human
you
temple?
can see that Alaya is averting her gaze pointedly.
She'll kind of point to the statue and is like, well, that is one of your shard bearers, I believe, so I assume so.
Get up and walk over. That looks like the pictures in the book my sister would read.
Oh, was your sister a shard bearer?
Out of game?
My parent.
Definitely not. You have not
Yeah.
seen shard plate or the weapons. You are very well versed in them because you took them
Yep.
actually on your character as areas of expertise. You haven't seen them, but
Yeah,
boy,
there's
are
an
you
entire
eager
subclass.
I
There's an
actually
entire
love the
subclass on it.
idea that you're just like this nerd with a special interest in shard playing. I'm like, I've never seen it, but one day, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
he's a light eyes. He's a guard. He has got to have a commander or who is his prince, right? Like he knows somebody who has Shardblade, and he's probably at least in a parade or something like that seen somebody wearing
Or like a
Shard.
duel before
That's
Yeah,
the
or
fair,
a
yeah.
duel. Yeah, he's
Just
seen
gonna be
somebody
vague
wearing
about
shard plate and using shard blades.
Yeah. So he
My
would
my
definitely
teacher.
aspire to it.
My teacher had access to these things.
And you would recognize it as being what the statue is wearing, without a doubt.
Yeah. He traces the statue like he's almost caressing someone who could have been romantically engaged with him. He's like touching it, running his fingers over it, and he's very gentle. For someone who's got like a nose that clearly has been broken at least once, he is very, very gentle as he touches the statue, and he's like,
Quite
"Yeah, no,
reverent.
the person who sculpted this got all these accurate details in here. Clearly, whoever made this had seen it too." Yeah, well, I wish I could give you more information, but my sister would know more.
Coxo kind of smiles like, well, perhaps we can learn a bit more together.
Oh, does your people not favor women, or is it more equality?
She looks a little bit confused about that, like, oh, we just don't really have many shards, and the few that we have been killed. I believe there's
Oh,
only 2 Warform who still have shards, and then she'll kind of like hold her hands, like, I don't want to fight, so I am usually just trying to seek knowledge.
okay, that's great. I think knowledge is awesome. I mean, if I have anything useful, you're welcome to ask questions. I may not necessarily know you want to know something, but If I know it, I'll tell you, and if I don't, I'll also tell you that, so that way you can find it somewhere else and don't waste your time with me.
Just as
She'll
a
nod at that.
note for the two of you, since your peoples, of course, are pledged and sworn enemies, it is very interesting, and it might be something you reflect on later in silence as you're drifting off to sleep. But for you to even have the exchange you're having now is nigh unheard of.
Oh yeah, no, he knows he's making like history, and it is just like, oh god, if she just doesn't remember my name, I'm probably going to survive this.
Yeah, and for Coxie, she's definitely like was trying to get more information and knowledge for her people, so she has never taken war form. So she's like, I just don't want to fight.
It's just what I was trained to do. Yeah, they wouldn't teach me. I tried to teach myself to read at one point, but my father shut that down. I have never tried again.
How clever of Coxie to emphasize how harmless and trusting she might be to ingratiate herself with these foreigners. Tip of the hat.
She's just like, please don't kill me. I want to get information. That's her. She
No,
would at you mentioning try to teach herself to read. She'll kind of excited, like, oh, one of our greatest scholars recently, I suppose it's not discovered, but found a way for us to create paper similar to what your people have.
that's amazing. You guys didn't have that?
No.
Wow.
That reminds me of in Waterworld, the one guy, he's like, it's paper.
Yeah. No, like, she'll happily say,
Have you
like,
ever seen?
in, until we found our people stumbled across each other a decade or so ago, we didn't do maps.
Wow. I think my sister would say I was too stupid to answer this question. Um, I'm sorry for you.
She'll kind of shrug. Oh, I mean, our ancestors knew the choice they were making when we forsook our gods and left. It's just sad that so much got lost.
So, what does that mean? That you forsook, said no to God? The gods?
Our gods, yes. We left without permission and gave up our forms to try to hide from them. But dual form is difficult and a lot was lost before we were able to take our forms back.
Is Coxie does she know the songs? Like was she
She's not a keeper of the songs, but she would have, like, she's familiar with them.
okay.
So she knows they exist and she probably knows a couple. But her interest mostly is in like the forms and Spren. That's the thing that she thinks is really interesting and is trying to gain more knowledge of.
Okay. So if she knows of them at this point in time, would she like I don't know if the listeners like knew specifically all of the reasons why they
They know they gave
forsook
up
their
their
gods?
gods. Yeah,
Yeah.
they know they gave up their gods, but they don't remember why or things like that.
Yeah.
Um, do you need anything? I mean, to have a life without the gods?
I do not believe we need the gods to live. mostly at least I am trying to discover more of our past and our heritage that we lost. My people, when we bond, spread, and take new forms, each form serves a purpose, but we don't honestly remember that many. We remember some of the forms we should have, but we can't find. So that's kind of.
I'm sorry, you said you bond with Spren?
And she'll kind of like, as she did before, like her hand, like where her heart is, like, yes, in our gem heart.
Wow, so you're like a living shard blade.
She kind of like will like stare at that, like, do shard blades have Spren in them?
They absolutely can. And my master's had one.
I don't know if that's known at
Yeah,
this point.
so, yeah,
Oh, I
shard
don't either.
blades. Shard blades are, and also they're dead Spren technically.
Yeah, the shard bearers currently at this point in time in the story, all of these shards are left over from the recreants when when they were abandoned essentially by the Radiants, and nobody really knows anything about the Radiants because it's been so long. They just know that these shard blades cut things real good and kill things real good, and they've just
Yep.
been using them. But
Sorry,
they
that's
don't know anything
correct.
about like how they were made or anything like that. They don't understand anything about them.
To be rediscovered.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just to share, obviously don't read it now, but I do have the Welcome to Roshar thing that has like a little summary of everything.
Yeah, that is one. I don't know if I shared that into the chat
I mean,
there.
you might have way earlier,
Oh, she
but
beat me to it. Yes,
all
exactly
right, I'll
that.
download it.
It's cool. It's kind of like a pamphlet guide, a very kind of brief tourist little thing of a brief introduction to the world. It's pretty nifty. I also have some handouts that might go into a little bit more detail, maybe
So did you
less.
give me spheres?
No, she gave you uncut gemstones. So
Okay.
spheres are what your people use, but the
Yeah.
Parshendi do not have. They're more of a commune situation, but they do have uncut gemstones that they use for decoration and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Spheres would definitely be a little bit different. And glow with happiness. But yeah, so is there anything that you guys would very specifically wish to address or accomplish prior to visiting your slumber? Meanwhile, Elia has
Um,
been listening to that exchange with like the spoon hovering above her little bowl, like she's about to take a bite, and then she's listening to Coxie talk about her people and the Spren and such, and she's just entranced.
my only concern would be making sure that everybody is comfortable in falling asleep, that everybody feels safe in falling asleep. Um, Obviously, we need a watch, and being that there is only one Parshendi, uh, uh, it would be difficult to I don't know, make a Parshendi who is the only one in our group feel comfortable with sleeping. But whatever we need to do that, if she should like find a different area or
Elia will
set up a little
offer an area
trap or
and be
something, I don't know.
welcoming to her and encourage her to kind of sleep with her area. Varda is going to insist without overstepping his bounds and rank on taking watch now that he has had his fill of food.
Are you sure, Varda? Because I'm all right if you want me to take first watch.
Oh, yes. It would please me to stand guard, ensure security.
Yeah, I'll be
And
doing it too.
you're able to pick up, Loon, that he does want to prove himself and make up for earlier hesitation. Shows of, he wouldn't call it cowardice, but you know it when you see it. He well, he has been charged and you've given him that backbone. Now he's like, I want to prove I have it and use it. If that makes sense.
I'll give him a pat on the shoulder as I walk past him and say, all right then, with honor. Either I'll be here to relieve you or I'll send the new guy. I keep forgetting his name. I'll figure out his name.
We'll just go with the other V name.
Yeah.
The other V.
V de otro.
And remember, everybody, we've promised not to kill each other. So that means in your sleep as well. No killing people while they sleep. All right, good talk.
Tazo looks amused and relieved at your restating that. And so shall it come to the following day, and a bit of travel, rising, of course, with the light. You'll be coming through an area that those of you who are local will recognize as the Unclaimed Hills. Pretty sparsely an inhabited region, uneven terrain. There are some shrubs, mostly that brown stone you've become familiar with. You realize as you're making your way closer toward the crossroads that thick gray clouds have gathered, hanging heavy with the threat of a high storm. And you can see here and there, twinkling therein, some of the bright blue wind sprin racing through the sky. You're going to crest over a hill, and you'll hear Tazo exhale with great relief as you see below you the sheltered cliffside known as the Covenant Stone Crossroads. The cliff wall itself stands about 500 feet high, twice as long, provides a natural barrier against high storms. So it's a very popular waypoint for caravans. Again, those of you who are well traveled or well informed or of Alethi origin in particular be quite familiar with that, if not by experience, by reputation. You can see that there are a few of those caravans sitting there now. There's a large military caravan flying the blue colors of House Colon. I will put that into the chat for those of you unfamiliar, but most of you are. Spirits of the stones protect us. Tazo's eyes lingering on the banners a bit. The high storm could hit any moment. Let's go down and make some friends, and quick. You will see, in addition to the larger caravan of the House Colon, there are about 10 wagons, company of tons of soldiers, well about the number of 100. You'll also see more modest little caravan. They do not bear banners, looking to be of a merchant type.
I will absolutely get near Coxie and say, like, now's the time where you're going to want to put the stuff up, like that hood.
She'll be like, oh, okay. And then, like, I guess put the hood over her.
I
Try
will.
to hunch down a little bit.
If anyone asks, you're worth me.
Loon is going to be out in front, and will go in the direction that Brightness Elia has said, but just sort of, in guard position, I guess. I don't know. Leading the procession.
She will propose that while her nobility bearing, she could certainly gratiate herself with the commanders. Perhaps they should first approach the merchant caravan. It is closer, and you might be able to get a bead on what lies beyond.
So that's the one to the south then, right?
Yeah, and if I were to place you, you guys would actually be more directly facing them out there. And you're coming in from that east side over some hills and such into this area. It
Okay.
is your prerogative if you wish to head directly to the encampment of House Colin.
Well, if these are the first people that we're gonna pass, I'm definitely not going to ignore them.
All right.
So as we're walking up, obviously we're not being sneaky, and I'll call out from a distance. Hello, friends. How are you this fine day?
Amongst the circle of the 4 wagons, you can see they're getting secured, preparation for the high storm coming. See, kind of approaches you a little bit. An Alethi man, dark wavy hair, was inspecting ropes, tying off bundles. You can see that that particular wagon has bounded weapons, spears, staffs, other kind of polearm types. He nods at you, looks up at the sky. You're getting right under the Storm Father's nose. You can see nearby there's a fashionable Thalen woman sitting on the wagon. You can see now as you're up close, the wagon itself is marked with a bright blue glyph that resembles a spool of thread. You can see as you approach that there are angst sprints skittering around her. She's huddling, almost as if she can feel the chill of the winds in advance. Her eyes looking a little bit westward, kind of in the direction you came, but a little bit more south as well. And she calls out to you, "Did you see any wagons on the road coming in? My friend and his daughter were supposed to be here by now." She will tentatively hop down from the wagon, gather a cloak around her as she approaches.
I assume our answer is no, because you didn't mention that we saw anything. So, no, we did not see anybody. At least in the direction that we were coming. Should we? Do we need to go check on them?
You can see her face softens a bit. Again, the Thalen have the scene right away. She is pretty well dressed. She has the drooping white eyebrows, common to her people. Thankfully, the commoner token had that included already to match. Says, you hear the other man, now, Zvalka. Surely, they're on their way. Just a matter of time. Hopefully, making haste. He looks cautiously up at the sky.
Is there even time to go and look for them? Should we be sheltering?
Oh well, certainly there would be time if you sought to seek them out, but what is it that brings you here? And how is it that you missed their caravan?
Well, we happen to be fighting for our lives at the moment. We are coming back from an expedition and got separated from the rest of the group. We've been out for a couple of days and are just on our way back, but no point in leaving somebody out to die in a high storm if we don't have to. If we need to go out and find them, we can certainly help you with the search.
Coxie would kind of get behind Loon and you try not to like be the blind side of the other two and be like, if there's a high storm, I might be able to help with how to avoid the worst of the dangers.
The Thalen lady, who was identified as Volka. Let me put that in the chat there.
Mhm.
Says, "Oh well, it's not like Revan to arrive so late. We expected him hours ago. I haven't seen him or his daughter. I believe it's Hana's first travel here. I can't believe that they would be lingering or not like this is an area for sightseeing, and especially the storm pending. You can see again the ink sprin skittering around her. Can tell as much as she's trying to hold her composure, it does give away a little bit her worry.
Just out of game, I assume. Or maybe you want me to roll for this, I suppose. But I assume that if we were to go look, we would just follow the tracks of their caravan backwards as quickly as we could. So it's not like we need like a huge search party. We just need to like make haste.
Indeed. And you can see where the tracks have come in. Just about where you have arrived, but you know that the road does fork south a bit, where you guys came in directly from the outskirts there. So you kind of converged onto the path where you didn't see the wagon. If you had come from that direction, you likely would have. But you are off the beaten path, as it were.
Luna's gonna turn around and look at Spearman Varda and say, Spearman, I would ask for your honor once more in staying and protecting those who need protecting here. Lady Elia and Tazo and these two as well. And then I'll look at Coxie and Valdis and I'll say, if you would do me the honor of joining me, we must make haste to go and locate the family of these good people. Are you willing to come?
Absolutely, on one tiny condition. And he looks back over to Svalka and says, "Do you happen to have 3 peaches or apples or something?"
Oh, I'm afraid not. We've been carting weapons and wine for the soldiers. Certainly, we could part with some of that. I've also, I
Oh,
mean, if it's payment you need, we have marks. I will gladly pay to see them returned here, especially if they've encountered any kind of trouble. You can see
so
she's looking a little bit desperate and
as excited I am
trying to
about the
preserve.
concept of money, I was just hungry and was just trying to get a snack before we left to look for your friend.
Oh, I'm certain that we can find some fresh rations here for you.
Yeah, whatever. Just 3 things. Maybe you have dried meats or something, or whatever you have. Just 3 little things for my companions as we go out looking.
Yes, of course. You see the man is kind of looking at her, raised eyebrow, looking up at the sky, gives a little bit of a shrug. She rushes over to a separate wagon, climbs into the back, hears some rummaging. Then she comes back with a cloth, and it has some berries, some jerky.
Excellent.
She gingerly holds out the cloth. It's kind of a makeshift. She doesn't have like a wicker bowl or anything for you, but
No, totally fine. Do you mind if I take the cloth and I'll bring it back when we're done?
she nods in encouragement.
Thank you very much. We'll get started right now.
And we take off. Oh wait, I didn't hear an answer from Coxie if she was willing to go.
Oh yeah, she had offered because her people like do things in high storm, so she can
Yeah.
help with that if that comes up.
Sweet.
Tazo apologizes that he wouldn't be of much help, and he gestures with his broken arm again.
Hey,
Spearman
here, I don't
Virda,
need you breaking the other one.
Spearman Varda looks sad that he doesn't get to join, just in case he can spear something, but he gives a nod.
Loon looks
Goes to
over
stand
at
with Elia.
Loon looks over at Elia and says, "Brightness, I pardon my rudeness here, but I beg your leave." And we take off.
Says, "Oh, but of course," and gives a nod.
Once we get far enough away that we're not in earshot of anybody or anything else like that, he will simply divide the food up to everybody and says, like, I have an odd feeling we're going to need carbs.
What are these cobs you speak of?
Well, never want to fight on an empty stomach. It makes you do dumb things. It's not good.
Oh, that was just me.
But yeah, he hands some food and then just looks at Coxie and says, like, here's an extra chance to try some food that's human based. I don't know if you guys have fruits and berries or dried meats, but give it a whirl.
She'll shrug and like nibble on it a little bit. Yeah, it is different.
I figured, just trying to share some experiences in a safe way for you, and we'll go from there because so far it's been working out pretty good. Oh my God! Look at that thing.
It's a chol.
You're familiar with Chol. So yes, a little ways down the western path, you will see that a wagon and a Chol are stuck in the muck. The crab-like Chol is kind of waving its legs uselessly, having kind of fallen at an awkward angle. The large puddle of wet creme. The winds pick up a little bit. You can see a balding, red-haired Velveteen man straining with all his might, tugging on a rope attached to the beast.
Loon's gonna run up quick as he can and say, "Hello, we were sent by your mother."
Is there someone named Hannah here?
Just a friend.
We're here to pick you
We were
up.
sent by your friend to help. What can we do? Tell me what I need to do.
Well, the beast is stubborn and stuck and won't cooperate. I say, wiggle left, and it wiggles right.
Wait, your child talks?
Well, of course not, but nonetheless,
Oh,
I try, and it doesn't listen.
it's not getting it. Okay. I was
Uh,
real excited to hear it talking Chol. That would have been great.
should we grab the what do you call it? It's not a leash. What is it? The
Oh,
reins?
halter.
Yeah, harness. Should we grab the harness and pull with you to get it out, or is this do you need less muscle and more brains? Because I'm afraid I'm out of the second one.
Yes, well, I mean, whatever you can do to help. If you can help
Oh my god, that's so
pull on
cute.
the rope here. I've got
Oh,
more rope if you can maybe find a way to provide more leverage, or if we can
so
help get
I have an
the
idea.
Chol free of the muck here, it can also help. It can't be enjoying itself. And he gestures, and you see the Chol is just kind of twitching its legs somewhat frantically and
Oh,
uselessly in the air.
Oh,
Um,
okay, I have an
Coxie,
idea.
you will see a young girl nearby, um, mid to late teenage years. She can say, huh, Pa isn't going to leave the wagon. Please, it's everything we have.
So, I have a question. Uh, Sir, what were you hauling?
No, I've just got some extra goods there for the caravan. Supposed to be accompanying
So
my
like
friend
food?
Zvalka.
Yeah. Volka's the one that sent us. Um, so you're just bringing some food stuff then, right?
I've got more tools, uh, stuff to set up tents and the like. Makes the wagon a bit heavy.
No. That's perfectly fine. Um, I have an idea. Um, if I lift one of the chul's legs, can it get near the edge of the muck if I stretch it out a little bit, gently? I'm not seeing if it can get out, I'm just seeing if it can get close.
Um, you can see that the Chol itself, if you can manually flip it or even help calm it a little bit so that it's more effective at its pawing at the air, if you will, uh, it would be able to assist in drawing the wagon itself. Both of them are kind of stuck in the muck there. If the
Okay.
Chol is righted, it would definitely go a far way into aiding the wagon getting free. But you can still, try with brute force to go for it.
No, but
Also, Rebin
I'm
has
sorry.
um,
alluded to
Um,
there being more rope available if you wish to try to try to go add pulling from another angle. He's just
I
doing the best
also
he can. Yeah, go ahead.
Coxie would also point out like she has a staff, quarter staff, whatever, so she could like wedge it sort of under the chol to try to tilt it in a direction.
he and I are
Ooh.
thinking of a very similar concept. So what I want to do is actually take off my armor and fold it, and then using the chainmail, I'm going to put it so that its next step for one of its legs can be on the chainmail over the mud,
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I see what you're doing.
like a
Um,
Nice.
snowshoe.
it's
Yeah.
on
And then
it's on its side though currently, right? So we need to like right it and then
Yeah, that's why I
yeah,
was gonna use the staff to
yeah.
like right it.
Yeah.
Or
So Loon's
so
gonna help out, grab the extra rope, throw it around, and try and pull the same way that Coxie is leveraging
All right.
to
and
help out.
I'm going to try to, on the leg that it would need to make the first step, I'm going to try to tie my chainmail around that foot with some of the spare rope he's talking about as well, so that it gives it kind of a impromptu horseshoe
All right.
and kind of like a snowshoe for the big white foot. And then I will pull from the same direction with Loon as she's pushing from the other side so that there's two people pulling. And then we could try to make that first footing go better to help give it the way out.
All right. Perfect. Well, what I would like to have you do then is for Valdis, if you can make a survival check, well, let's call that a DC 12. Um, that'll help you to work with the Chol directly, a little bit calming, giving some footing. And I would say for Loon and Coxie, the would be an athletics check. One of you giving aid will provide an advantage to that roll. So whichever of you, I have a guess in mind, but I'm not going to force either of you to be primary. Um, an athletics check with a DC 14. Let's see how you guys do with that. Again, the athletics check will have advantage. The survival
Yeah, I'll give
check
Loon advantage.
straight up.
Okay.
I have weak little nerd arms. I have no muscles.
Don't we all?
Okay. Advantage. There we go. Roll.
Oh, wow.
I hope I don't suck. Sorry, guys. Okay, dirty 20. I'll take it.
All right. The Chol becomes righted and instantly becomes a little bit more calm, kind of shakes itself a little bit. Rebin exhales a sigh of great relief. You can see Hannah was holding her breath. The wagon itself still a little bit stuck there. Can I please get a perception check from everyone involved? You guys are all very close. May catch on to something.
I'm not paying attention.
Cox is too focused.
No, Valdez is paying attention.
Oh, she got the
Coxie's
one.
not.
I thought it was. I so thought it was me.
So, Valdis, because of your focus on footing and writing, and you kind of, you yourself are focused more on the creme, the mud, everything, you realize this creme pit here was intentionally created. And you see what resembles footprints coming from a north and northwesterly direction. Well, coming and going.
I will elbow into his arm, not his stomach or anything, but elbow Loon to get his attention.
Loon, you feel a jab in your side.
Yeah, not hard, just enough to like catch your attention.
I look over and look at whatever it is that he's. I assume he's like nosing at it or like pointing his chin at it or something like that.
Well, he'll just lean over a little bit and say like, "This is a trap set by bandits."
And then as soon as I hear that, I'm looking around, head on a swivel.
Yep.
Getting ready.
Give me, please, another perception roll. With advantage, because you've been clued into potential danger.
Same for me or just him?
Just him. He's
okay, cool,
purveying
cool.
the scene, now being tied onto that.
Even with advantage, I get a 10. Or 12 total, I guess.
You see figures very slowly moving, coming closer and closer to the camp. You can't discern any details. You're getting flashes between the rocks, between the shrubbery. But you realize that you are not alone, and there are others encroaching, sneaking, making their way closer. Rebin is still focused on getting the wagon out and has not been clued into your information. And currently, Coxie is next to Hana, and she's kind of looking at her with a confused look. Coxie, you do have your hood drawn up, but you realize that some of your features may have been discerned in all of the efforts of using your quarterstaff and wrenching up. You're not sure if she saw, but she is looking at you a little bit curious. Neither Coxie or Hana have been made aware of the encroaching doom.
I am going to, as soon as I see somebody, I will let everybody know. Pull a little harder, everybody. We need to get out of this now. There's bandits let's go. And then I am going to try and make my way in between where the bandits are coming from and everybody else. And then try to talk my way out of it. Hello there, friends. Have you come to help?
You hear from beyond the rocks, "We've been spotted, men! Quickly! Take out the men first. The women will take after." And with that, we will be closing our session tonight on that cliffhanger.
Very nice.
Love it.
Din-na-na, din-na-na.
Do we have any idea, is Rebin going to be any use in this fight?
Oh, I doubt it. He's a
He
merchant.
is a small and frail old man. He
Yeah, that's
seemed to
what I
be
thought.
a little bit frantic, and you could see in the way that you guys, in writing the Chol, he was probably just going to be yanking on it with a great deal of futility. And you can see the relief registered when you offered to help. He's didn't give off anything, probably too proud to admit that he's old and frail, but his
He's old and
slight
frail.
frame belies that, yeah.
Like, I got this. Sure, Grandpa.
And again, Coxie and Hana only becoming aware the impending threat from Loon, calling out about it, making his move over there. Valdis, I will let you position yourself as you will. You can get as far as Loon has made it, and that will be your starting position when I call for initiative at the start of our next session. Perfecto.
Do we want to talk about starting time? I know that we were starting at 7 until the unfortunate dropout of our East Coast friend. Do you want to go
Yes,
back
we
to starting at 8?
definitely should